Ever since the inception of the internet, lolcows have been rooted in the darkest corners of the deepest threads, occasionally poking their heads above ground and spawning the Boogies and Chris Chans of the world. Lolcows are the modern day equivalent of the slaves you'd have at the stake during gladiator matches, except being there entirely voluntarily and with an audience throwing money instead of tomatoes. My name's Extramint, and today we'll be exploring the twisted world of some of the most prolific lolcows, the terrifying concept of horrorcows, and the moment it all stops being funny. To put it simply, the term lolcow refers to an abnormal person or online persona that is easily exploitable or humorously reactive to criticism. In the case of infamous characters such as Chris Chan, people often go at great lengths to infiltrate their personal lives and form meaningful connections in order to suckle and squeeze out increasingly absurd or disturbing content at their expense. Importantly, this symbiotic relationship only functions if the person knowingly and continuously reciprocates, leading to the notion that many lolcows are largely responsible for their public betrayal. These relationships are most easily formed when an individual is entirely lacking self-awareness and believes their trolls to be fans or even secret admirers. On the other hand, in the case of variants like Boogie2988, an apparent awareness of their flaws in public perception continuing to clash with their behaviour leads to more rage-fueled viewers with a desire to see them fail, not only to laugh at them. To sum it up, a lolcow is basically your attention-starved neighbour that would willingly eat dirt and small insects at your request because it made you laugh. They might do goofy, weird shit, but as long as you're the onlooker, there's a sufficient disconnect to remove most of the empathy you'd feel for encouraging such degenerate behaviour. On the same side of the coin, we have horrorcows. These are individuals known for committing deplorable and disgusting real-life acts. Often the natural evolution of society's most susceptible lolcows, they can be a genuine risk to other humans. This is a bit like discovering the neighbour you encouraged to eat worms ended up cannibalising his host family while on student exchange in Vietnam. If some of the more risque theories are correct, this is exactly what Chris Chan became and what some individuals are all along. Cyraxx, one of the most prolific horrorcows, is a great example of this, as a lot of his interest is derived from a morbid curiosity around multiple serious altercations and arrests. The potential for him to be institutionalized at any given moment for increasingly outrageous events keeps people coming back to either mess with him or watch in fascination. Of course, as most of these people are so well documented and monitored, almost every gritty detail is available online in some form. For Chris Chan, their disturbing confessions have been recorded countless times in text and through phone calls, and even their arrest was live-streamed to hundreds of people. I'd say this, and Horrorcow's eccentric and almost unreal personalities are why people can continue to follow them even through their darkest and most unsettling habits. They feel more like characters of a TV show than someone enacting real harms on other people, which adds to the disconnect between viewer and creator. This is problematic in itself, especially considering the potential for trolls to encourage these already volatile people to do weirder and more despicable things. Given this dynamic, telling someone like Chris Chan to seek genuine psychological help is counterintuitive to the concept of a lolcow, and would obviously impact the economy of creators pumping out hour-long documentaries that chronicle their existence. It also becomes increasingly hard to allocate blame in these scenarios. While the most intimate trolls are arguably taking advantage of a mentally ill individual, at the end of the day, it is always a personal choice to interact with trolls in the first place and make that sort of content. And, as much of these interactions happen online, it is extremely difficult to draw the line on where someone influenced another person's behaviour in the real world. Regardless of whether you're classifying someone as a horrorcow, lolcow, or even a covert master of abstract ironic comedy, the common theme here is self-destruction. There is seemingly never a real redemption sequence or arc, and even if opportunities present themselves, they are quickly shut down by the very characteristics that made someone a lolcow in the first place. Returning to Boogie2988, his entire career for the past few years is a prime example of this. Despite being wheeled into the public eye in boxing matches and a number of successful documentaries, he is seemingly unwilling to monopolise on any real financial or content-driven opportunities, aside from those that only serve to make him seem even more pathetic. Overall, many of these online figures, fans and trolls alike, seem to be locked in a toxic cycle of content, with their main draw being that they are a laughingstock if they are even aware of it. So they are ultimately doomed to fail. Attention and money act as incentives to continue behaving irrationally, even at their own expense. Of course, this reputation and viewership foundation makes changing their style of content even harder, as most people are only there to watch them dig themselves in deeper and deeper and deeper. Thanks for watching. Feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed, or a dislike if otherwise, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. This has been Extramint, and I'll see you soon.